Moving on from tank, we've got the Elite Knight grade shadows. And yeah, these guys are way stronger than your Knight grade shadows. They're actually on par with basic S-rank hunters like Jinwoo. So yeah, these shadows are no joke. They're seriously powerful and can hold their own against some of the strongest hunters out there. The first Elite Knight grade shadow we need to talk about is, of course, Iron. Now, when Jinwoo took down Kim Chul and made him his shadow, he literally went from being one of the most hated characters to one of the most loved. As Iron, he looks pretty much the same as he did when he was alive, with the same armor and weapons, but once he evolved to the Elite Knight grade, his battle axe got bigger and gained this cool, smoky aura. In battle, you can say that Iron's a bit of a loose cannon. He tends to go overboard and takes pride in his kills, like we saw when he took down Baruka. But even though Jinwoo calls him a dunce, he keeps him around because Iron does always deliver in a fight. Oh, and sometimes Jinwoo even uses Iron's shield for some extra protection, which is cool. Now, moving on, we've got the 28 Shadow Giants. These 28 giants all came from the Tokyo S-rank gate, and were each about the size of a large building. But when Jinwoo showed up to save Tokyo from the giants, he made quick work of them and turned them into shadows. So now, as shadows, they kept their massive size, and since they were strong enough to take on S-rank hunters, they became the strongest infantry in Jinwoo's shadow army. So yeah, these giants are truly a force to be reckoned with. We've already talked about the Knight grade Nagas, but now let's talk about the boss Naga Jima. While we didn't really get to see Jima's strength when he was alive, since he was one-shotted by Jinwoo, his shadow form is insanely strong. In fact, he was so strong that he was able to take down a giant, which remember, could take on an S-rank hunter, with just one strike. But going back to when Jinwoo extracted his shadow, he was pretty confused and even a bit sad that Jima ended up being so small. But it turns out Jima has the ability to grow dramatically bigger using mana. Now, we've got Kaisel. After reaching the 100th level of the Demon Castle and taking down Baran, Jinwoo extracted the shadow from Kaiselin's corpse and named it Kaisel, because, well, he just didn't remember the Wyvern's original name. So now, instead of using tank for transportation, Jinwoo rides around on Kaisel whenever he needs to travel. However, unfortunately, Kaisel was only good for flying, so Jinwoo never really called on him in battle. The last Elite Knight grade shadow was Min Byung-gyu. But why do I say was? Well, Byung-gyu was actually only a shadow for a short time. And here's why. During the Jeju Island raid, the Ant King unfortunately killed him. However, after Jinwoo took down the Ant King, he revived Byung-gyu as a shadow soldier to help heal the injured hunters on the island. But once Byung-gyu had fulfilled his duty and saved the lives of the injured, Jinwoo honored Yunho's wish and allowed Byung-gyu to rest in peace by terminating the extraction, letting his soul move on peacefully. Alright, the shadows in the Elite Knight grade were definitely strong, but the general grade shadows? Yeah, they're on a whole different level. These guys are powerful enough to go head-to-head with advanced S-rank hunters like Goto Ryuji, and they even have the ability to speak. Pretty impressive, right? So, first up in the general grade shadows is Tusk. Tusk is the shadow of the powerful High Orc shaman Kargalgan, and he got his name because, well, he's got a tusk. As a shadow, Tusk is easily Jinwoo's most powerful magic user, known for his crazy strong area of effect spells and his intelligence. Tusk also plays a major role in Jinwoo's shadow army, especially in big battles, as he can blast fireballs, create shields, and, well, a lot more. He's just crazy strong. The next general grade shadow is Greed. After Jinwoo defeated Thomas Andre, the national level hunter, he took down Huang Dong-su as revenge for torturing Jinho, extracted his shadow, and named it Greed. Now, as a shadow, Greed knows about all the crimes he committed when he was alive, so he's super humble, quiet, and respectful towards his master, always asking permission to speak and addressing him with honorifics. But when it comes to battle, Greed's got a serious thirst for blood and is insanely strong. Like, this guy literally flexed his biceps to break out of the Frost Monarch's ice prison. So yeah, he's that powerful. Now, the last two general grade shadows were actually only temporary shadows. So, let's start with the Ant Queen. She was the boss of the Jeju Island S-rank gate and the mother of the Ant King. So when Jinwoo then arrived and took down all the ants on Jeju Island, including the Ant King, he extracted the shadow of the Ant Queen who had already been killed. However, things didn't really go as planned. Her shadow was way weaker than expected, with Beru pointing out that the Ant Queen wasn't much of a fighter. Her main power was reproduction, which, well, doesn't exactly work when you're a shadow. So, Jinwoo decided to terminate her extraction pretty quickly. Last but definitely not least, we've got Kamen.